There's nothing to talk about for this Eagles loss, is there? What's going on, everybody? C4 here. Welcome back. If you haven't checked out the Trevor Lawrence career sim, go check that out because I really hope that video does well. But doubleheader today on the channel, 2 videos, and we're going to talk about the Eagles' 30-16 loss to the Green Bay Packers. Game was closer to that scoreline for sure. Gave up like a 77-yard touchdown to my adopted son, Aaron Jones. I was a proud father to see that run. Fortunately, it came against the Eagles, but it is what it is. But generally, Philly showed fight today, and that was good. I'm going to skip the quarterbacks. We talk about the grades and reaction. We're going to save that for the end because obviously that's what people want to talk about. So we'll just quickly go through the rest of the meat and potatoes of this performance for Philadelphia. For the running backs, Miles Sanders only got 10 carries, so it's yet again another week where we just completely abandoned our best skill position player in the second half for some reason. And I like Jordan Howard coming back. I think Jordan Howard actually has a place in our backfield, but I saw, literally in the second half, I swear to God, I saw more Jordan Howard in the backfield than I did Miles Sanders. That's an issue. And as far as we know, the man to blame for the running back, not to blame, to hold accountable for the running back rotation is Deuce Staley, the man that so many people want to give the play calling duties for. I honestly think there's a nostalgic issue here. If Deuce Staley never played for the Philadelphia Eagles before, I don't think anyone would be like, hey, let's get the play calling Deuce. He can get the most out of running backs for sure, but that is it, man. Some guys just aren't meant to be play callers. Some guys aren't meant to be offense coordinator, and I don't see it there because his running back rotation since he's been here, dating back to Chip Kelly, has not been good. Really, the only time it was good the Super Bowl year, and even then, it was still frustrating, right? Even the Super Bowl year, when you have LeGarrette Blount would have a bunch of good runs, and then for no reason whatsoever, they'll pull him, and they would throw in Jay Ajayi or Corey Clement and just ruin the momentum they had. It worked, but I feel like the run game worked in spite of the running back rotation, not because of the running back rotation. So that's my issue with Deuce Staley. 29 yards, Jalen Hurts scrambling. I mean, generally, though, the run game wasn't there. We abandoned it. Couldn't get it going against a team that's not particularly good at stopping the run, so they're getting C's, C-, somewhere in that range. As far as receivers, only 4 guys caught the ball for Philly today. 5 for 66 for Goddard, 57 yards and a touchdown, Greg Ward, 34-yard catch for Reagor, and 2 for 31 for the returning Zach Ertz. So definitely having 2 tight ends, definitely, I would say for the most part, looked more comfortable for Carson Wentz out there. But, I mean, the more and more you see Alshon Jeffrey eating into Travis Fulgham snap, the more you're just like... And it's the same thing, I believe, with Carson Wentz. We know mental health is a thing nowadays, right? People struggle with it all the time, especially in football. It's been very prevalent. Dak Prescott. And we know that Carson Wentz, everyone's talking about his confidence being tanked. And how much I made a video talking about just how much this organization has tanked the confidence of Carson Wentz. And they've done it at every single turn possible. And for as much as Doug Peterson's a player's coach, the exact same fucking thing has happened to Travis Fulgham. Fulgham was our best guy. He had chemistry. He was on form. And then out of nowhere, they're just we're going to sweep the rug out from Travis Fulgham. Alshon Jeffrey's back. Let's put Alshon Jeffrey back out there where he's done absolutely nothing to warrant the fact that he has just eaten well into Travis Fulgham snaps. And then Fulham's just he might get one look a game and he dropped it today. All I see there is just you know what? Maybe Nelson Aguilar having success with the Raiders, maybe that's not a fluke. Maybe this is just a terrible organization for managing players' mentals, as Marshawn Lynch would say. And as much as Doug Peterson is anti-Chip Kelly and shows emotional intelligence, and we know and we're pretty sure he's a player's coach, his management of players and morale and it's very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And hey, Jalen Reagor made a play today though. Had a 34-yard catch, even though most of that first half he was not getting any separation whatsoever, which is exactly what you need a first-round pick to do. And it's exactly what you see, Ruggs got a bunch of separation today in the game-winning touchdown for the Raiders. You've seen CeeDee Lamb anytime Dak Prescott was in there getting separation. You've seen Jerry Jeudy for the most part get separation. His route running's been on point. Justin Jefferson's breaking records. You've seen him going in the second round. Claypool gets separation. T. Higgins gets separation. Denzel Mims now with a god-awful Jets team. He's making plays. And then you look at Jalen Reagor and it's just the splash plays. And everything comes back to... I guess we should preface this by, today, Jalen Reagor, Jalen Hurts. You can even go back to JJ, Arthego White. So anyone Philly gets that I don't like. Sure, it makes for a great reaction. Sure, I'm a stubborn and stuck in my own ways, football opinionated YouTube loser on YouTube. But as soon as you're a Philadelphia Eagle, I want you to do good. Like, even with Jalen Hurts, with Wentz in there, anytime Jalen Hurts came in, I would have been ecstatic if all those stupid runs were constantly getting 15, 20 yards. I'd be like, well, he's here. Let's make the most of it. Same with Jalen Reagor over all the other players. And even JJ over DK Metcalf, even though till my dying breath, I will remember that moment as one of the most mind-boggling decisions in my life, drafting JJ Arcega-Whiteside over DK. If you told me in training camp next year, hopefully we have a new OC or we might have a new head coach, I don't know what's going on. But if you said, man, this new, no more Alshon, so they're starting to use actually JJ more. And JJ's starting to look like he did in Stanford, where he was jumping over a bunch of 5'10" wide receivers winning jump balls like that. I'd be happy. I want JJ. I want everyone that wears an Eagle uniform to succeed because that makes me happy. I want my team to win. That being said, with Jalen Reagor finally having his big moment, big 70-plus yard punt return for a touchdown, it still just comes back to the fact of, like, on draft day, Ruggs goes to the Raiders. Man, this guy got elite speed. He's going to be able to spread the field. Jerry Jeudy goes to the Broncos. Might be the best route runner we've seen in years. He's going to get a lot of separation. CeeDee Lamb, my God, jump ball. This guy's DeAndre Hopkins 2.0. Justin Jefferson, oh, wow. Record-breaking LSU offense. Look at the touchdowns. Look at the production. We don't know if he's inside or outside, but the intriguing is there. The talent is there. And Jalen Reagor. Remember the 2 talking points from Jalen Reagor? Wasn't about his route running, his separation. It was, 1, hey, he's actually kind of faster than what he was at the combine, so making an excuse. And 2, special teams ability. Well, it showed up on display today. Didn't help anything for a wide receiver because he wasn't getting any separation or making big plays. But sure, we got another first-round special teamer. So while I don't want to just be like, oh, he just hates everything, what's fun, it still is just annoying that, like, that would be 5 really good wide receivers, and we get the one that's the special teamer of the bunch. Because that's what we need. But, hey, hopefully, confidence. Confidence is huge, and hopefully Reagor can take this confidence going forward and start to put up some big games. Start to get a couple hundred. I want Reagor to, what do you got, 3-4 games left of the year? I want like 200-yard games from Jalen Reagor. That'd be awesome. That'd make me feel confidence going forward into next year that, hey, Reagor's might not be, Justin Jefferson. He might not be CeeDee Lamb. He might not be Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs. He might not be Jamar Chase, who very well, hopefully, might be coming to Philadelphia next year. But if he can be a playmaker, that's all I want. We just need more playmakers on offense. So, overall, receivers, give them C+, I guess. Again, when Carson Wentz in there was no separation. And for Jalen Hurts, outside of one drive, wasn't a lot of separation either. So, it's still the play calling and playmakers around. Whoever's under center is a bigger issue. Special teams, Jake Elliott made a 52-yarder. I was like, okay, there's some confidence. He missed an extra point. Great contract, Howie. Glad you paid Jake Elliott and made him one of the highest paid kickers in the league, even though he literally is like 50% on any kick. Jake Elliott could nail a 67-yarder and make the longest field goal in NFL history, and then he'd miss a 27-yarder game winner. It is what it is. Defensively, we got Alex Singleton, 12 tackles. Got picked on in coverage a little bit today, but it is what it is. There's a reason why he was like undrafted. There's a reason why he had to go to the CFL. If they're complete linebackers, don't really fall through the cracks like that. He can be our Blake Martinez, though. He can be a guy that's pretty good against the run. You blitz him, he's not too bad. Athletically, he's NFL average, and put some good linebackers around him. But he's a tackle machine. Casuals will look at the tackles and be like, oh, Singleton's really, really good. He's a solid linebacker. He's got to have his deficiencies, which we see when he has to drop back into coverage. Some of those tight end catches should have happened, but he still generally didn't have a bad game. Fletcher Cox looked good. Javon Hargrave looked good. But Darius Slay. Darius Slay was probably our best player for like the first half of the season, at least on the defensive side of the ball. And then, I don't know if it's an injury. It could be an injury. People are saying it's banged up. That could just be excuses. But you made Darius Slay one of the highest paid corners in the NFL. Is he the highest paid? He's up there. He's got to be like top 5 at worst. And I made the assumption, looking at our schedule, we're just like, oh shit, Darius Slay. We got DK Metcalf when we play Seattle this year. We got Devontae Adams when we play Green Bay. We have Michael Thomas when we play the Saints. We got DeAndre Hopkins when we play the Cardinals. It's all well and good when Darius Slay can look strong and do his job when we're stopping good wide receivers. He got his against Terry McLaurin. He didn't get beat too bad and he's stopping Amari Cooper and stuff. I mean, obviously, then it's still the quarterback throwing the ball and all that circumstance. But still, he has done pretty well. But you look at the premier players that he's going up against, and I was like, all right, there's 4, right? DK, Michael Thomas, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins. When we made this trade, I looked at those matchups and I was saying, he's not Jalen Ramsey. He's not in that S tier of corner, but he's in the A tier. He's a top 10 corner in the NFL. Fringe top 5, I guess you could argue, coming into the season, even though he's coming off a down year with Detroit. And I was like, out of those 4 games, I want 2. 2 where he gets his. 2 games where you don't have to shut them out. These guys are going to get manufactured targets. But, hold them under 100 yards. Don't let them get a touchdown. And so far, he's over 2. He is over 2. This premier corner, who's still a good player, has got knocked out. First round knocked out in his 2 matchups against premier wide receivers. Devontae Adams had 100 yards, 2 touchdowns against him. DK Metcalf against, I don't know what it was, 177, most receiving yards in Seahawks history. And that falls on Darius Slay. So we're 0-2. He left the game with injury. I don't know if he's going to line up against Michael Thomas. I don't know if he'll be ready for the Cardinal game and stop DeAndre Hopkins. But it's just been a frustrating year, and that just adds to it. You kind of wanted to leave this season with, at least the Darius Slay trade looked good. Give full kudos to Howie Roseman. And I'm not saying it looks bad because, again, I'm still, even after these last 2 weeks against DK Metcalf and against Devontae Adams, I would still say Darius Slay's top 3 player on our defense for sure. But, it just would be nice. It would feel nice to be like, yeah, we just had a really good player shut down another player. It has been forever. It's been since Asante Samuel that we had that happen. It's unfortunately not been the case this year for Darius Slay. It's just another thing that pile on to the Philadelphia Eagles. So then we finish up with the quarterbacks. Carson Wentz got benched. Carson Wentz went 6 of 15, 79 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, had 4 sacks. Didn't really miss much. Wasn't really any bad plays from Carson Wentz in terms of throwing. Maybe underthrew. He had a pass to Dallas Goedert where if he threw a little bit better ball and led Goddard, could have been a touchdown, could have. And it just ended up being a big, long play. But he was getting hit as he threw it. But the sacks were pretty bad, man. He looked like he was in no man's land with the sacks. A lot of that was down to the play calling. They were not getting him outside the pocket. They were not moving him around. Even Tony Romo was drawing his little yellow arrow saying you got to get Carson Wentz to move here. You got to get him to move here because the offensive line's not playing well. And every time, Carson Wentz is right in the middle, standing there, and then he's like, oh shit, I can't do anything. And no wide receivers are getting separation. It was bad. And then they pulled him for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts came in, went 5 of 12, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And I just have things to say. I don't really have an official take. I think till my dying breath as an Eagle fan, Carson Wentz is a more talented quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Does the more talented quarterback mean more efficient quarterback in this Eagles offense? No. And I think going into next week, I think Jalen Hurts should be the starting quarterback. I absolutely think he should be the starting quarterback because, what's the worst going to happen? This organization has already failed Carson Wentz at every level, that his morale is shot. This is a quarterback with 0 confidence, so don't act like not benching him is going to make it even worse. It can't be any lower. And then you look at Jalen Hurts, outside of one drive where he looked pretty good. They were having him do all the things that we want Philly to do for Carson Wentz. They had Jalen Hurts scrambling out of the pocket, throwing on the run. Things that when Wentz has done it this year, he's looked decent to good. But they just don't call those plays for Wentz. So for whatever reason, they called good plays for Jalen Hurts. And that is my sole reason for having Jalen Hurts remain the quarterback. Is that much like we've seen with Nick Foles, with Josh McCown, and now with Jalen Hurts, it is like Doug Peterson and the Philadelphia Eagles have Carson Wentz's playbook. That is the playbook they want to run. And Carson, you're a $100 million quarterback. Run our playbook. And then it's when any other quarterback's in, they're like, here's our playbook to make this quarterback good, to maximize this quarterback's strengths. For Nick Foles, it was jump balls, Alshon Jeffrey, get him time in the pocket. For Jalen Hurts, it's like, hey, we'll have him move. He's a scrambling quarterback. Let's have him move. Run that shit with Wentz. Maximize Carson Wentz. But no, you can't, because it's literally to simplify it, if you're just watching this as not an Eagle fan, it's literally like Philadelphia is on all Madden when we play with Carson Wentz at quarterback, and then the play calling goes to rookie when it's anyone that's not Carson Wentz. Put Wentz with the rookie play calls, for the love of God. So, while I think Wentz is still the quarterback of this team in the future, next year, regardless of what happens with the front office, with the coach, Wentz needs to be quarterback 1 next year. For right now, just for the fact that they call different plays and better plays when Jalen Hurts is in the lineup, absolutely. Let's keep rocking with Jalen Hurts. Help out his trade value and, see what happens, because I still saw the exact same issues when Jalen Hurts was in. Yes, Jalen Hurts had a touchdown. He had a couple good plays. But Green Bay was playing vanilla defense. Green Bay was playing like it was the end of the game. And let's just not get beat deep. And then on the final drive, when Jalen Hurts threw his pick, Green Bay went and brought pressure. They were bringing pressure. They were disguising the coverages, and they ended up getting an interception. So, essentially, and I don't want to pick it apart. If you told me right now, C4, even though you think Carson Wentz is better than Jalen Hurts, if Jalen Hurts could go on and obviously I don't want to win out now because I want the highest pick, but if you told me, C4, what if I told you next year that Jalen Hurts could get the Eagles in the playoffs? I would go, yes. If you told me, guarantee you had a crystal ball, that opening next year, Jalen Hurts, if he was a starter for Philadelphia, he will go on to win the playoffs. If Carson Wentz is a starter, just question mark. We don't know. I would take every year Jalen Hurts as our quarterback going to the playoffs. But that being said, I can't get over the fact that the play calling is day and night different when Carson Wentz is out of the lineup. And that's just, it's inexcusable to me. It's absolutely inexcusable, the fact that they just seemingly refuse to help out Carson Wentz. And they constantly just, I don't know. It is what it is. I definitely want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. I think for me, closing argument would be, let's go Hurts next week. Let's just see what he has. Because other than that, I don't think it's going to be revolutionary. I don't think he's going to turn the season around, because you still saw wide receivers weren't getting separation. You still saw once they stopped booting Jalen Hurts and having him stand back in the pocket, the offensive line wasn't good enough. And all the same issues that we have with Carson Wentz were kind of coming. I mean, Hurts can scramble a little bit more, so he's not going to eat as many sacks as Carson Wentz does. But you still just saw the fact that, after outside of one drive, didn't move the ball very well with Jalen Hurts in there. And I think that the biggest issues remain not the quarterbacks for the Philadelphia Eagles. So let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. We'll be back tomorrow. I think we'll be doing probably a new episode of the Philadelphia Eagles, and then we'll get back into the Ravens rebuild. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching. Peace out.